Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'll tell him. I'll talk to Dr. Chris about it. Yeah. Yeah. We're on live right now. Just click Wrestle Binge. Oh, now you see us. Hey. All right. Hey, Dr. Chris, Riju, our main guy, is on the phone here.
Hey. Yeah, I was just texting with them.
All the way from India. I will tell them I'm very excited about it.
Yes, indeed.
Very excited about it.
Awesome. Bill Apter.
Oh, Dr. Chris.
Let's do this, man.
How are you? So I'm good. You all right?
Yeah, man.
I'm down here in Apter's Alley. I was just giving you, I've got a swivel chair and new little laptop computer here, and you can see some of the decor here in Apter's Alley. That's
Legend.
a mask that Mil Mascaras that he wore in his debut at Madison Square Garden.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so that's what he was, the only wrestler to be able to wrestle with the mask at Madison Square Garden. He wrestled the Spoiler. Spoiler had to have an open mask because the New York State Athletic Commission did not allow masked wrestlers or women wrestlers in New York State to compete back in the 70s. So I'm going to give you a quiz now. Whose mask is that?
Is that Ultimate Dragon?
It is. It is. Very good. Dr. Chris, you're going to be great at the big announcement that I have right now.
All right.
Because that was kind of like a brain buster.
Okay.
So Sportskeeda, in association with WrestleBinge, our Dynamite YouTube channel, is going to be busting brains. Somewhere in the next few weeks, coming soon to WrestleBinge, there is going to be a new quiz show called Brainbusters. And it's going to encompass WWE, AEW, NXT, Ring of Honor, Independence, and it's going to be a brainbuster. And right now we're negotiating for me to host this game. You never heard my game show voice, did you?
I've not.
Well, Dr. Chris, you got it right now. That was Mil Mascaras and the Ultimo Dragon. And guess what? You win nothing.
You kind of sound like Casey Kasem.
Oh, I remember Casey Kasem. Yeah,
Yes, indeed. Yes,
he was
indeed.
more mellow than me, though.
I'm Casey Kasem. That
I
was he.
remember that.
Yeah.
My game show hosts growing up were Bob
Wink,
Barker,
Wink
Hall of
Martindale.
Famer. No, Bob Barker. I
You wasn't a
remember.
Martindale guy?
I remember him. No, I wasn't. I was a Bob Barker guy.
Of course, he's a legend. He was a
And
legend.
back when I was about 6 or 7 years old, you're all going to have to look this up. There was a comedian who had a quiz show called Dollar a Second,
Okay.
and his name was Jan Murray,
Mm,
and he was the quiz show guy of my childhood.
beautiful.
But hopefully, I will be able to get you as a contestant if I sign the contract, of course, on the Sports Key to Wrestle Binge Brain Buster
Mm.
program.
If I have the time, you've got my time, man.
At the time, and I've got the place. So I mentioned to you I'm on a new laptop and a swivel chair, and I got an award, by the way. You see that ladder? The best use of a ladder. All my Hall of Fame stuff is on the ladders there.
Brilliant.
Hall of Fame. So
Legend.
I actually got an award for the best use of a ladder.
Mm.
Ladder of success. Ladder of success. So I want to talk to you about something, and I
Let me talk to
I
you.
want to talk to you.
All right.
Before we get into, if you can call up the matches for Backlash, I think we should definitely get our prediction. But before that, I did not. Rare that I do not catch your Raw show with Vince Russo. So I don't know, bro, what he thought of this. But there are two things that Tony Khan did that's all over the internet, and one of them was totally out of the question, and the other one was thank you, Tony.
Okay.
So the out of the question was WWE and Harvey Weinstein. Sorry, no, just not bad comparison. But it turns out what we're reading right now is he's kind of inferring that, well, look, it was all over the internet. We got a lot of promotion, right?
Yeah.
So that's like clickbait.
Yeah, that's what he wants to do, man. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I think the neck brace gimmick was absolutely hilarious, man.
Now I'm going to go.
Weinstein was trash, but the neck brace was hilarious.
Yeah, but I'm going to go old school on you here. Okay. I didn't find the neck brace hilarious.
Okay.
I found it old school wrestling guy, because the way old school wrestlers used to sell their injuries, when they broke their arm and they didn't really break their arm and they went through an airport for months, that arm was in a sling. When Bruno Sammartino had his neck broken, even after it was broken, that neck brace was on. The Andy Kaufman thing, which everybody at that point thought was totally legit, he wore that everywhere.
He did.
So Tony Khan going on the NFL draft with the neck brace, I didn't find hilarious. I was going, yes, this is great for pro wrestling, because whether people thought it was real or not real, it didn't matter. He was being loyal to what the business used to be.
Wonderful, man. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was funny. Because the reason why I thought it was hilarious is we don't see that anymore, man. We don't see someone going full garb, full kayfabe, wearing a neck brace to a NFL draft, which he is the GM of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's carrying his AEW. See, you're laughing. See, I told you.
No, the way you're putting it.
Exactly. I'm telling you why it's hilarious. He's carrying his neck brace, Meltzer drivered Aftermath, going in full neck brace and going onto the control center of the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're showing him in that. And he was interviewed, by NFL commentators in analyst, and he was just still in neck brace mode, still playing the gimmick. And then he went like typical Tony Khan, man. It's like oftentimes Tony Khan doesn't know when to go ahead and push that stop button. Like he's got a little advantage there. He's doing something cool, and then all of a sudden he just falls off the cliff. Like it happens quite a bit, man. He takes us there, we get thrilled, and then bleep, all of a sudden, and he with the Weinstein comment, that's what happened, man.
That's Weinstein.
Weinstein, tomato. So here's the thing. And it got so bad that the NFL analysts cut him off as he were talking and went on and said, what's the prognosis? I think they said after that. And it's like, there's no way in the world. My biggest thing is Tony Khan is starting to be like the laughing stock of like sports entertainment and pro wrestling. Why do I say that? Because Tony Khan is the CEO and the owner of All Elite Wrestling. He is the top executive of All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah.
Would any NFL analysts, even if Vince McMahon was in kayfabe, would any NFL analyst treat Vince McMahon or say Eric Bischoff the way that they would treat Tony Khan? Tony Khan, unfortunately, is creating an impression for people to just think that he's a joke. You know what I mean? And that's what I don't like of what Tony Khan is doing with a lot of.
But let me ask you a question. So the people that only know about WWE, now they're watching Tony, they're football fans, they're watching Tony Khan with the neck brace.
Yep.
That might draw some people to say, oh, this AEW, they hurt the CEO. Let me just check it out. So then, the cash register rings. So there's nothing wrong with it.
I highly, highly doubt that.
I don't know. We'll have to see what the...
I highly doubt that.
Now, where do you think this is going to go from here? Where do you think that angle? Because what I think is, of course, is that they're going to take Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, CEO, and maybe she's going to be the face of Tony Khan, so to say, moving forward. What do you think of that?
No.
Yeah, I know. But that's where I think this might go. Why are they calling it the CEO?
Another person who I think is being grossly underutilized, man.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, she's in the TBS championship picture right now, and probably want to making one of the biggest salaries in AEW, and they're putting her in some type of mid-card title feud. Yeah. Same thing they did with Copeland, man.
But do you think they're gonna make her the on-screen CEO who Tony Khan orders?
No. I don't think I don't think she's going to have anything to do with that. Nothing to do with it.
I figured that's why they gave her the CEO name.
No, they gave her the CEO gimmick because she was Sasha Banks. I mean, that's a AEW. That's another way of saying that she's about money and Banks and Mercedes Moné or Monet.
Money.
I think she say Monet. Yeah. We a lot of people say Monet at first, but I think it's Monet. But that's where the CEO came from. I don't think it has anything to do with Tony Khan.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
On another topic.
Well, as far as an answer of where I think it's going to go, where I think it's going to go is Tony Khan as an on-screen character does not need to happen, but it seems like he's grasping for straws at this point with these numbers that they've been getting over the past, this year period.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think he's going to be on television. I do think that eventually, like Kenny Omega's coming back, he's built to come back. So I do think there's going to be some type of elites infighting, the true elites, and so you can put like Adam Page when he comes back from injury, and you can have some type of elite war. You know what I mean? So, and then Tony Khan, I got a feeling, man, that Tony Khan's gonna get this Meltzer driver, and then he's going to align himself with the Young Bucks.
Now you're still calling it the Meltzer driver. It's the
Undertaker or something. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now
Meltzer driver. I don't know what the new name is, but Meltzer driver is what I remember it to be.
All right. Yeah. Somebody came up with the Apter something, and I forgot what it was.
Thank you for your super chats, guys. We'll address them here in a moment. So
yeah, whenever you want to go to that, because I'm going to change the subject here.
Oh yes. Let's see. Again, if you want your super chats on the screen, go ahead and put there. We'll be picking over here and see if there's a really riveting question. But we can't guarantee, of course, that we'll get you on the show. But if you want to be on the screen, if you want to be on the show like Andrew with $13.99.
All right, Andrew. Welcome.
And put your super chat there. He says, "Love Bill. He seems like such a kind man."
Oh, shut up. No.
Very nice.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate your fanship very much. And do you have a question for us as well? So if you have a question,
he didn't have one.
pop it up, and it could be about anything. A lot of people ask me when we do this show, when I meet people during the week, and they'll recognize me or whatever, and they watch UnSKripted, and they're fans of the show, they'll always ask me questions about the magazines. So if you have any questions about the magazines that I used to work for, would love to entertain those. So you watched the draft, I assume, Dr. Chris?
The NFL draft or the WWE?
No. I don't follow football. That's what. No, I'm a pro wrestling fan.
All right. Well, I had to watch it for Raw.
I know. So did you notice that the biggest pop? Our Sports Key to Time Machine guy, Teddy Long, got great pop when they brought him out. You do a good Teddy Long dancing. I like that.
Thank you.
But you know who got the biggest pop both nights? The Dudleys.
Well, second, Pat Mahomes got the biggest pop on Raw.
Well, no, I'm talking about wrestlers.
Okay, so you didn't specify that.
Yes, I didn't know who Pat Mahomes was. I'm not in that world.
He's the man.
Yeah, but I'm not in that world.
Yeah.
So, but the Dudleys, I was so thrilled to see the way the fans not only chanted EC Dub, but just get the tables. And that second night, on Monday night, they brought tables out. I just wanted to.
ECW is a national treasure at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they're always, they're going to go in infamy as being just the company that was there for about ECW is about 8 years old. Lasted about 8 years. Something like 7, 8 years. So I think, that 8-year span, that's going to be it's going to go into the annals of history as being.
I agree.
ECW is a national treasure, man. So Paul Heyman, Dudley's, whoever is Dreamer, whoever's alum, they're going to hear those 3 words, man. So it's pretty cool.
Speaking about Paul Heyman, I read somewhere today that he was the highest viewed Hall of Fame induction since the WWF, WWE started their Hall of Fame thing. He was the one that got the most viewers. So, which is amazing, from the little punk kid that I knew as a photographer, and then through his years of Paulie Dangerously. And now it's a more mature Paul Heyman, who's, all the wrestlers that I talk to from WWE, Paul's always a great ear for people. He listens to people. He gives advice. He's at the gorilla position there, and he's just turned into be, this fantastic character. But look from the past, the way he built up his career, and how those ratings were drawn from his on-screen personality.
Yeah,
it's just great. I'm so proud of what he's become.
I think that if I'm not mistaken, that was a YouTube thing. But I do think one of the biggest reasons why Paul Heyman's segment was viewed so highly, because his speech was riveting. It was people were telling other people about his speech, and which caused people to come and watch the speech because it was so huge. Let's see. Before we get to the Backlash predictions, we got Michael Basolano 199. How about Spiros Arion?
Oh, for the Hall of Fame. That's great question. You know, if I remember correct now, if I remember, I do remember, I used to love his manager, Freddie Blassie. He couldn't pronounce Arion's name. He'd go, let me tell you something. Spiros Arion. He called him Spiros all the time. Yeah. I'm not sure if he's still alive. He was living in Australia the last time I heard, but yeah, Spiros Arion I think would be a great Hall of Famer. His feud with against Bruno Sammartino at Madison Square Garden spanned 3 sellouts at the Garden. So yeah, he and Blassie speaking for him, and even though Blassie spoke for him, Arion had that great Greek accent where it'd go Bruno Sammartino coming to get you. It was so, you don't see interviews like that anymore. But yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, Spiros should be in the Hall of Fame. You pencil neck geek.
He is 83 years old. He is of Greek descent, but born in Cairo, Egypt. So
yeah.
All right, let's talk about Backlash.
Well, we can't do that without Je le bon, que le bon, et le bon Backlash. How to do it in French?
Pourquoi?
I can do any accent. I'm going to tell you something. When I don't speak any other languages except British.
I do. Je parle français.
Gesundheit. So
that's not French.
When I was in Italy for New Evolution Wrestling, the last night of the tour, they set us across the table from these beautiful Italian women, gorgeous women. And one of them looked at me and she said, "You speak Italian?" I said, "Yes." And I don't. She said, "Let me hear." So I did my usual fake, she looks at me and she said, "Oh, Sicily?" I said, "Yes." She thought I was Sicilian.
Oh. All right, we'll be here tomorrow. Let's go.
Francais, but yeah, they're going to Lyon, France for this pay-per-view. Can you imagine the travel that these guys and gals are doing now? They're going all over the world.
Sounds fun. Fun weekend and full of wrestling and wrestling. All right, so let's get into the.
Well, before we get into it, Charles Robinson, the referee, said that he didn't know he's in the wrestling business. He thought he's in the airline business because he's on planes more than anything.
There you go.
Okay, Backlash. We're going through the card, and let's see if people agree with our picks.
All right. We'll start off with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens against the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, and the MFT, Tama Tonga.
You want to go first on your prediction?
I'll defer to the elder.
My uncle is not here, but anyway,
I'll defer to the elder on the screen.
It's going to be an RKO. It's going to be a stunner, and it's going to be Solo taking the fall. Randy Orton and KO win that match. What do you pick?
Definitely Bloodline. Definitely think the Bloodline is going.
Really.
Yeah,
Who are they going to? Who's going to get pinned?
Probably Owens.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. You think Owens and Randy are going to get along? Okay.
They'll probably build a feud between them. I don't care, man.
No.
Yeah, I think the Bloodline's
like this is NFL sport here. We're doing this as a.
Yeah, I think the Bloodline's going to win. I think they're going to beat Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. I think Orton and Kevin Owens are just fodder for the Bloodline's push, and they're going to build steam up to eventually for Roman Reigns to come back.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship.
Well, they are really moving and pushing Tiffany Stratton at this point, but I think there's going to be some sort of a screw job mess between her and Naomi, and Bayley is going to wind up pinning one of the two of them. It's too early for Bayley to lose that championship already. She hasn't reached that legendary spot of beating people yet. She's going to keep the title. What do you think?
I think she will, but I think Bayley, the luster of Bayley and Cody have fallen tremendously over the past month since WrestleMania.
Okay.
And I do think that Bayley will win, but a lot of times, with certain characters, the chase is better than the championship win.
Okay.
And I think the chase was better with Cody. The chase was better with Bayley, although the chase wasn't all that good. But now she beat the, Damage Control, and now they're at Raw. They're going to be at Raw, so now that's completely over.
Yeah.
And so now there's different names, which I'm cool with. But Tiffany Stratton is like Tiffany Stratton is getting over right now.
Yeah.
And the fans like her, which I think is counterproductive to any babyface right now. They should just go ahead and turn her babyface.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. And unfortunately, Naomi doesn't seem to be at the level she was the first time around.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. I don't think they've booked her strong enough for that. But we shall see. Let's do Damien Priest versus Jay Uso.
So here's what I think. This is what I see for the future. Okay? Yeet beats Damien Priest for the title. All right? At that point, a heel defeats Jay Uso. That brings in, and again, this is long range, that brings in Braun Breaker, who I think somewhere down the line is going to be a super high rise champion. Breaker eventually wins that championship and becomes world champion. What do you think?
I don't agree with any of that.
That's fine. You don't have to. This is unscripted.
You just asked me what I think.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
So I'm going to answer that your question. I don't agree with it. I don't think that Braun Breaker is there yet anywhere.
Not yet. No,
anywhere near it. I mean,
I'm talking long term.
Okay, so anywhere near it. I don't think he's anywhere near it. Probably Royal Rumble 26 he'll win, perhaps. I think he'll be in the mid card during this time. I can see a Bronson Reed beating Sami Zayn, and I can see a Braun Breaker Bronson Reed feud for the Intercontinental Championship, which I would be fine with. But I don't see Braun Breaker in a title anytime soon.
So who wins the match between Jay Uso and?
I'm going to answer that, Bill.
Okay.
So I do think that Damien Priest is going to win, and I do think that Drew's going to beat Priest at Scotland and Jim.
That's who I was. Okay, that's where I was going with the name I couldn't remember. There, if Drew McIntyre beats Jay Uso. Jay Uso beats Damien Priest. Drew McIntyre beats Jay Uso. That sets up Drew McIntyre against CM Punk.
Yeah, I don't want Jay to be a transitional champion. Their baby faces are very weak on Raw.
I agree, but I think he will be.
If he's a number one draft pick, don't make him a transitional champion. He would only be champ for a month.
I know, but that's where I think they're going to go with this.
I don't think they should do that because they should build him, let him cook, build him up. And he's not there yet as far as that moment, that feel yet. Give him some time. And I do think it would make sense for Drew to beat Priest because Priest beat Drew in 5 minutes. So the story is better for Drew to get his belt back from Priest because he cashed it in on Drew.
I can see that, but I'm picking Jey Uso to win. So you're picking Damien Priest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Priest only had it for a month, so I think that he'll keep it. Let's do Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Who do you have?
Jade and Bianca, just natural team. They're going to click. Fans want to see them. The fans are going to go home happy with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's been something that's even before Kabuki Warriors competed when they did the 6-person tag match.
Mm-hmm.
I predicted that Jade and Bianca was going to team up. Reason why people are like, oh man, I should have been defending the titles at WrestleMania. The Kabuki Warriors defending the titles at WrestleMania doesn't mean anything. I mean, it wouldn't have been anything. And I think the pitch, the bigger selling point for that title would just been in the shuffle with everything else at WrestleMania. The bigger pitch is let the title be defended at Backlash, which makes sense. I don't have an issue with that at all. So I think Jade and Jade Cargill and Bianca will win the championships, which I like it. I think that'll lead to Jade eventually turning on Bianca, and they'll be feuding against each other.
Me too. Because at the Royal Rumble, when they were face to face with each other, the people went crazy.
Yeah. Let's do what else? Last match.
No, we have the Sami Zayn is defending.
I don't think that's been. Is that been confirmed?
I believe so.
Is it?
Is it up on your list?
No, it's not. No. No, that's not being confirmed from what I've seen. It may have been. If that match does happen, what do you think?
It's Sammy against.
I don't know.
Oh, I had it up on my. It'll be out on my newsletter tomorrow.
I imagine it'll be a triple threat, but I don't think.
Oh, no, hang on a minute. Hang on. I'm gonna go check out tomorrow. By the way, if you're not subscribing already to the Sportskeeda newsletters, you need to do so. Go to sportskeeda.com/newsletters, and the Bill Apter one is every special edition is every Wednesday. So hang on, and I will tell you right now about that match. Do we have a question in the meantime while I'm looking for this, Dr. Chris?
We don't.
Here we go. Hang on.
Found it.
Almost. I'm scrolling up. And by the way, I'm starting rankings on this week's. Okay, it is Damien Priest, Jay Uso, Bayley, Naomi, Kabuki Warriors. Cody. No, you are correct. I thought for some reason Sami Zayn had his match here, but I don't see anything confirmed. You're absolutely right. My bad.
That's all right. So right now there's one more match: Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. Who you got?
Going to be a tough as hell match for Cody Rhodes, but Cody Rhodes is going to keep his title. I think AJ looks fantastic. I think the attitude is great. I think the body is great. It's going to be tough as hell match, but Cody Rhodes is going to come home from Paris with his championship.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think there's a 0% chance that AJ Styles is going to win, which I'm like, you had this wonderful build with Cody and The Rock and etc. going into Reigns, breaking a nearly 4-year title streak. And you go from that to AJ Styles. She's been booked 50-50 for a while. It just kind of feels flat to me.
Who would you have put instead of AJ? Who might you have put in that spot for France if it wasn't AJ Styles?
Wonderful question. I like questions like that. I think. See, Seth is gone. I think that would have been a cool, because it still would have had it would have made some type of sense there. It's really hard to build someone up on that level because no one was really built up to look that strong. The only name I can think of is Solo. That's the only name that I can think of.
But he's lost too much now.
Well, it's funny because he's lost too much now, but he kicked Jimmy out for losing.
Yeah.
He was on a 5-month losing streak. I think he lost like 30 straight matches.
Yeah, and that's a guy that they could have made a monster out of. I just totally.
I think another another option would have been cool if they would have done like a battle royal and for the number 1 contender, and Gunther would have won that. I think
Cody against Gunther would have been fine too. Yeah. I think Gunther. They're saving Gunther for King of the Ring. I just have a gut feeling on that.
King Gunther. Ugh.
Yeah, but I can't to see him with the cape and
I don't.
He's a wrestler. He's not
exactly.
He's not a sport
gimmick. Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So hopefully not. I could see Ludwig in that gimmick, but not Gunther.
I actually wouldn't be opposed to Kaiser winning if he's in it. I don't know if he is. Probably not.
Yeah, me either.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Who would you pick as Queen of the Ring in advance? I could see Jade Cargill as that.
No, I don't think she's ready yet. I could say probably Tiffany Stratton.
Actually, perfect. You're absolutely right. Great attitude for that. Great look for that.
Yeah.
Totally.
She's already arrogant. She's already, haughty. So it makes sense if she was Queen of the Ring. So.
Yeah.
All right. Bill Apter.
We'll
know about all things Bill Apter, man.
Well, we got, don't forget to look out in the next few weeks for the Brain Buster quiz show right here on Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge. I will be this coming weekend on Saturday at the Menon Sports Arena hosting the 80s Wrestling Con. Hopefully I'll see all of your beautiful faces there. And 2 weeks later, on May 17th and 18th, we'll be in St. Louis, Missouri, and doing my one-man show on that Friday night. SICW.org for more information on that. So lots going on.
Wonderful. Let's address this question real quick, like 2 minutes. Do you think Cody Rhodes' match against Carmelo Hayes made him look weak? Carmelo is 5'9", 150, and Cody struggled. That's a good question.
Made who seem weak?
Cody.
No, to me, I think Cody is he's a student professional wrestler. He likes the back and forth, and for the guy to give him some trouble and then he comes back and holds. I think it made it look competitive. But I hated to see Carmelo Hayes lose on the first night in there officially, even though the draft hasn't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They said it doesn't start until next week, but I hated to see him pinned. I would have rather had some sort of a controversial ending so they could have done it again. What do you think?
I do think it made him look weak a bit. People, outside of the bubble of pro wrestling fans, which is a small number nowadays, people don't know who Carmelo Hayes is. Right. So you go from, having a very, very tough tag team match against The Rock and Roman, and then go against Roman and beat Roman. And then one of your first matches after that is a back and forth with someone like Carmelo Hayes. I don't think that made sense to me.
Different style.
They should have spent more time with building Carmelo to make him look bigger than what he is.
Yeah. I look at it, if I'm looking at it again in the sporting sense, Roman Reigns is more of a kicker and puncher than a Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But he's smaller than Cody, and it doesn't look
right
that he's going back.
Right, he's like the size, almost eye to eye, almost the size of Cody, where Roman is bigger than Cody.
No. Carmelo's short.
I don't know. I thought when they were face to face, Carmelo and he looked.
Carmelo's about 5'9". Cody's about 6'2".
My TV.
Yeah, it's your TV, Bill. You got the old school TV. All right, this guy right here is Bill Apter. Go catch me at Chris Prolific at Dr. Chris. And Bill and I were talking. We're going to do some AMA. So go ahead and ask us anything right before next week's Unscripted, the much you can. And plus, I can also give us a couple few ideas to talk about as far as Unscripted is concerned too. So that's fantastic. Hey, I'm heading over to Pancakes and Power Slams, and join me there. We'll talk about.
What does the American Medical Association have to do with our show? The AMA.
I have no idea, but I do know what Ask Me Anything does have to do with our show. So I'm going to be talking about what the riskiest draft pick was. So go ahead and check that out over at Pancakes and Power Slams.
I'm going to watch.
Yeah. This guy right here is Bill Apter. I'm Dr. Chris. This is Unscripted. Have a good night, buddy. So long.
See you at the matches.